All right. So, it's Sunday. I'm here. Jesus time. Little Bible talk. Today's story is the story of David and Goliath. So, when it comes to the story of David and Goliath, there's the Israelites, who are the people and followers of the one true God, the Bible God, the, God, the top dog God, the Abrahamic God. And there's the Philistines, who worship some pagan gods. They're just not on the same wavelength. Their vibes aren't the same, and for that reason, they kind of oppose each other. And the Philistines and the Israelites are at war with each other. And at this point, they're kind of stalemated and meet in a valley in Israel, and neither of them are really making a move. The Israelites' king is Saul, and he's a big dude in himself, but Philistines are led by some guy named Goliath, who's a literal giant. And I'm talking about like 9 feet tall. It's behemothly huge. And yes, behemothly is now an adjective. So, Goliath and the rest of the Philistines roll up to where the Israelites are camped out in this valley for 40 days. And it's kind of like, he is being a butthole, man. He's making fun of the Israelites' God, and he's just talking trash, and he's calling all of them weenies, and he really wants them to attack them. He's probably got like this whole trap thing set up, or like, this counter to what they're gonna do. But the Israelites are like, they don't even want to make a move either, because they're looking at this giant, and they're like, man, this guy is huge, right? So then, after neither of them make a move, Goliath comes up with this idea, and he just goes like, all right, since no one wants to make a move, how about this? Me versus your best guy, champion versus champion, winner takes all. So Goliath's alternative option, right, of the 1v1 winner take all, doesn't help at all, because Saul, the leader of the Israelites, is a big guy in himself. And with that, everyone's like, all right, so Saul's going to have to stick up for us, and Saul's going to be the champion. But Saul doesn't want to do it. The king's like, no, I'm big, but I ain't that big. Y'all tripping. So now Israelites just kind of like, all of them are like, yeah, it's not going to be me. And they're really stressed. They're like, how are we going to beat this guy? And this is where David comes in. So David was the youngest out of his siblings, and his brothers were all in the army. So one day his dad was like, hey, go give this food to your brothers at the camp, and so they can be strong, and well fed, because they're at war. So David, being the good son and brother he is, takes the food over there, and while he's there, he hears some thunderous footsteps as the giant Goliath comes out the woodworks and is like, yo, which one of y'all gonna step up and fight me? It's been like 40 days. Let's get it. Let's run it. Winner takes all. And David looks at him, and he looks around, and nobody's stepping up, and David's like, you know what? Bet. I'll do it. Me. Now, King Saul is like, yes, finally someone's down to stick up. But then he looks, and he was like, wait, that guy? And King Saul's like, all right, bring him over here. Let me talk to him real quick. And he just is like talking to David, and he's like, dude, you're tiny. You're going to get smashed. What do you mean you're going to be the champion? If you lose, we all lose. But, huh? Like, what makes you think that you're going to be that dude? So David responds to King Saul. And David's a shepherd, and, he tends to their family's flock. And he tells Saul that he has defended his flock from lions and bears and, fought and won against these guys, like, giant monstrous animals before. So he's like, if I did it to them, I can do it to Goliath. He's like, God was with me then. God's going to be with me now. We're good. Let go and let God. So David must have said that very convincingly, because maybe Saul was just that scared to fight him, and he knew someone had to do it. So Saul was like, all right, well, someone get this man some armor, get this man some swords, get him whatever we got that's going to help him. And they bring over like a helmet and like, armor and chest piece and all this stuff. And David puts it on, and he's like, man, this does not feel right. I'm gonna go out there just the way I am. So he ditches all the armor and the weapons and stuff like that, and he's like, he just goes in the regular stuff that he tends his flock with, And on the way over, he just picks up 5 rocks. You know, he's like in his little sling, and he's like, "Yep, this will do. This will do." So now David just is like, "All right, this is all I need." Rolls up to Goliath and is like, "I'm the champion of Israel. I'm your opponent. You're fighting me." And he just has a little sling, got his rocks, and Goliath is looking at him like, you know, head to toe armor, giant sword, spear, is like, what are you gonna do to me? Like, what do you think I am, like a little dog or something? You're no match for me, little man. Like, this is your champion. So David, super calm, cool, collected, cool as a cucumber, looks at Goliath and tells him, like, "No, I don't have just this with me. I got the Lord, so you about to find out." And Goliath looks at him and is like, "I'm gonna feed you to the birds, homie." And David's like, "Nah, if anyone's getting fed to the birds, it's you." And then Goliath charges at David, and then David just, like quick draw, throws the sling up, puts the stone in it, and just whop, and the stone goes bop, hits Goliath right between the eyes, and Goliath, like a big old tree, just timber falls to the floor, out like a light. And then David's a savage. He walks all the way over there, grabs Goliath's sword, and imagine seeing that happen. A 9-foot tall dude, armored out, full chest piece, helmet, everything, head to toe, armored up with a sword, running at a little dude in his little shepherd tunic, no armor, with just a rock in his sling. And he just, bop, with the power and grace of God behind him, takes out this literal giant, walks over and cuts his head off. Everybody, shocked. I'm pretty sure everybody's jaw was on the floor. But the Philistines picked up their jaw probably just about as quick as it fell and dipped, and rightfully so. I mean, there's no competing with that raw power. When you got the Lord behind you, can't be stopped. And that's pretty much the story of David and Goliath. I mean, like, it really ends with David taking the head of Goliath back to King Saul, like dropping it at his feet and going like, "This was the dude you were worried about." But yeah, then it ends. But I mean, just goes to show that when you have the Lord behind you, right, and you have faith in him having your back, there's really nothing you got to worry about. There's no person, there's no obstacle, there's nothing that you can't overcome when he's backing you up. And, like Isaiah 41:10 says, the Lord speaking, and he says, "Fear not, because I am the Lord and I am with you." So he's already with you. He says he's going to strengthen you. Don't be dismayed. He's going to hold you up with his righteous right hand. So, just keep that in the back of your mind next time something comes up that you have to get past. You'll be straight. Stay blessed.